Welcome into Factfinder Investigates. I'm Dylan Domain. Kansas officials at local, state, and national levels all opposing a proposed energy corridor that could affect landowners across the state. This story, first reported by Factfinder back in April, has since prompted proposed legislation aimed at protecting generational property from eminent domain. In the heart of Russell County is where David Newacek calls home.
I mean, it's absolutely beautiful country.
For almost 80 years, this property has been in David's family, now spanning over 700 acres. However, he says tough decisions will have to be made if a proposed 5-mile wide energy corridor set to run directly through his land is approved.
The line itself with the Grain Belt Express will be 300 feet from my house. You know, do you feel safe living 300 feet under the house where your grandkids are going to be playing?
Many counties in Kansas lie along the path of one of the 10 electric transmission corridors proposed nationwide. Landowners not only concerned about the addition of massive power lines, but also fear the potential loss of generational family land through eminent domain.
I mean, you start talking eminent domain, boy, people get ticked.
There's a lot of unknowns for this corridor.
Now Kansas officials are fighting back. This week, county commissioners from Barton, Pawnee, and Russell submitted a letter of objection to the Department of Energy, urging consideration of the historical significance of those farms and the negative impact the energy corridor could have on future development.
At this point, we're kind of helpless. We've signed a resolution. We go to meetings, but it's frustrating that you can't do more.
But action is not limited to the local level. State and U.S. lawmakers argue that the proposed corridor violates states' rights and exemplifies federal overreach.
The federal government is saying, states, you don't have any say what goes on within the boundaries of your state. The federal government is going to take over, and we're going to decide where this corridor is going to go.
Kansans know these decisions should not be made by folks in Washington, D.C. who live hundreds and hundreds of miles away.
Legislation has already been introduced in Washington aimed at protecting landowners from eminent domain. Additionally, State Representative Troy Waymaster plans to introduce a similar bill in the upcoming legislative session in Topeka.
This groundswell is happening, and the local individuals are saying, you are not going to take our land.
For Newacek, it's an effort he hopes will ensure his family remains on their land for generations to come.
We don't feel safe, so once this project is built, we'll abandon the farmstead.
Representative Waymaster does believe his legislation will gain approval at the state level when introduced, but he does anticipate legal challenges will come from it. The Department of Energy is still accepting public feedback on the proposed corridor. You can find a link to voice your own opinion over on our website. Another Factfinder update, this one dealing with your mail service. A spokesperson with the U.S. Postal Service says there are no plans to move Wichita's mail processing plant out of the state. Now, this comes after the president of Wichita's American Postal Workers Union, Christine Pruitt, said that this week during a rally that the facility being moved to Kansas City, Missouri is a good possibility. She said that move would force the only mail processing facility out of Kansas, and it would slow down mail delivery. In an email response, USPS said Pruitt's statements were incorrect and that there are no plans to move the facility to Missouri. Now, we did reach back out to Pruitt after this, and she told us while the Postal Service is correct that they have not officially placed Wichita on the list of facilities to take processing away from, she still worries that unless the public puts sufficient pressure to stop it, they will be moved to Kansas City in the future. And also the future of some Wichita's special education programs are in limbo. None of the programs are going away, but they might move locations. The question we're now hearing from parents, where will the kids go to school next year? Factfinder investigator Brandon Stitt has how one parent hopes it all stays the same.
I've spent the last couple of years planning for this, and now it feels like it's going to be taken away.
Courtney Vanek's 5-year-old son has Down syndrome and goes to Isley Elementary in Bel Air. For her, it's a special school with a special program.
It's kind of the gold standard for families with children with special needs.
Courtney's family moved so her son could be in Isley's Mixed Abilities program, a program she's seen make a difference.
And he's thriving. He's happy to go to school every day. He loves his teachers. He loves his paras.
But the Wichita Public Schools Facilities Master Plan has a change for Isley. Instead of being a K-5 building, the plan is to transition it to a K-8. This leaves the future of the special programs in limbo.
His program is possibly going to be removed from the school.
Assistant Superintendent for Secondary Schools, Lauren Hatfield, says Isley was originally built to be a K-8 school.
As we transition more grade levels into there, we need more space.
Hatfield says this will require some changes to the special programs.
We don't have enough physical space to have all of the programs remain at Isley.
Although changes are likely, a final plan has not yet been set in stone.
We don't have a full-fledged proposal ready or prepared until we get our community feedback.
Feedback, Courtney hopes, is heard by the school board.
This program is wonderful, and I don't know why you would ever remove it.
And that was Brandon Stitt reporting. And for those interested, a community meeting for Isley is scheduled for October 16th. You'll be able to hear about all those proposed changes and provide some feedback. The final proposal will go before the Board of Education in November. Well, it's now been 2 months since Wichita began Stage 2 water restrictions, and levels at Cheney Lake back down to below 8 feet below normal. Now, many of you reaching out to us asking why the city doesn't look for alternative options, including El Dorado Lake, for help. Now, we spoke with the city, who says they've looked at El Dorado Lake for years now, but much of that water is already designated to be used elsewhere. They say even if El Dorado Lake had water available, the city of Wichita would require so much that it would quickly drain that lake.
There's not a lot of water availability out there, and so we've got to maximize and optimize our resources. But El Dorado is just not what it looks like. It looks like there's a lot of water there. Most of it's already spoken for. What might be available won't be there when we need it.
All right, so what about those other alternative options? Well, the city says with longer than expected drought conditions, they're taking a more aggressive approach and looking at all available water options.
And this is a problem that we have everywhere across the country.
Are they calling to say, where are they? What's going on?
They're calling every single minute. They were exasperated beyond belief.
Next on Factfinder investigates change demanded as concerns brew over lengthy wait times at hospitals for patients being transported by ambulance. Our national investigative team looks into what's causing those delays and the risk it poses to you.